T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's that time that we've been waiting for. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend. All good looking, great teeth, strong body, strong mind, leader extraordinaire, your presidential diamond, D. Gibson. What's up, PDDG?
What up? How you doing,
Hey,
man?
we got something for you. Hold on, turn your camera off for a second, Mark. Turn your camera on. You know what we got for him, right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh. Uh-oh.
You ready, Mark?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're doing the Darren Gibson today, everybody. Hey, everybody, I'm Darren Gibson. We gave you the Jake. Now it's time to give you the Darren. Oh, we gotta flex. We gotta flex on him. We gotta flex on him. Flex on him. Yeah, Darren Gibson. Yes, I'm Darren Gibson today. That's what I'm talking about. PDDG, what's happening? PDDG in the house.
Everything. How you guys doing?
We
Good.
are doing fantastic. We're doing fantastic.
Yep.
And the chats are loving it. The chats are absolutely loving it. They're like, oh my God, they're out of control. So wait a second. Somebody said this is not flight school, it's Chippendales.
Oh,
That's David Romero. You can count on David Romero to say some crazy stuff like that. Admiral Vita Wooten said, Mark had the guns. Release the Kraken. Release the guns. All right. Excellent. How you doing, man? You're looking fantastic.
Doing fantastic, man. I'm excited.
Yeah,
So y'all look a little bit better with the hat on. I'll be honest with you.
you think
Yep.
so?
I know so. Yeah.
I'm gonna take off these blue blocker glasses though, because I feel like they're cramping my style just a little bit. All right. So in any event, I mean, you guys do the glasses a little bit better than I do. I'm sure I have a better looking pair around here somewhere, but anyway. So what are you excited about, bro?
I'm excited to, for one, just brag on the team. I mean, some of these guys are really rocking and rolling. You and I, we talked yesterday, T. Gray, and it's been a while since I've been on flight school, and we're going to kind of chime back and forth and see how we can help these guys. I believe, that we're at the end of the year, and a lot of individuals are getting set for 2025, and this is by far the best time to really get things rocking and rolling and move into the new year with a bang. So let's make it happen.
Man, absolutely fantastic. So bro, your team is rocking, right? At a time when a lot of people are trying to figure themselves out, you've got people who are really getting some serious momentum, starting to create some very consistent results. And what we'd love to hear from you, I mean, and it's all a testimony to you, right? When you can identify people who can get it and who can go and do big things, and you can have a Desi on your team, and you can have a Jake on your team, and you can have a Tier on your team, and get those type of results consistently. It says a lot about you because you brought those people to the table, and in many cases, either you have empowered and coached them to do what they do, or sometimes you just had the wisdom to get out of the way and let them do what they do. But either way, that reflects well on you. So why are you guys winning?
Well, I think you said it on the call already. You said that everybody's kind of all over the place. And once you're all over the place, when I talked to Mr. Bugs about our group, I believe we had like 3 separate calls with him, and then obviously I'm in contact with him a lot as well throughout the week, and he was noticing with different groups, they're just doing a lot of different stuff. And what I had to do was get, I believe some of the leaders, we came together and we said, hey, listen, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's focus on a few different things. And let's not focus on it for just a week. And then if that week doesn't work, we change it up the next week. Mr. Bugs gave us something that said, give it 90 days, because if you're having something that you're going for and you get the group really excited for it, and then the newest individuals, they come and they're part of that excitement, and then you switch it up the next week or you switch it up the next month and they were this close from doing it. Now you're just confusing your group, and your group is all over the place, and scattered activity means no activity at all. So I believe, when people's income or business starts going down, it's because you just created confusion with a lot of different groups. And if you keep the main thing, that's where most of your value and most of your income will go from. So T Grady, I got a few individuals, focused on just two things. One is 5K Club. 5K Club, you probably heard Jake talk about it when he was on here, and a lot of my leaders, they implement the 5K Club. It's very simple for them to achieve, and I say the 5K is a designation. And then there's another thing that we focus on is the Comma Club. Okay, the Comma Club is every single week somebody joins the Comma Club, meaning their checks are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if they can focus on income, there's a story, T Gray, that I got this idea from. I was at the gym and I gave Mr. Bugs a call, and he said most of my coffee when he was in Organo Gold, when it comes to Utah and the Mormons, he said none of these guys drink coffee. And but when it came to the business, 80% of them were selling the coffee. And he said, I did not get them focused on the product itself. I got them focused on income, on earning some income. So I just got people, focused on earning income and building the business, but not just the income part. I got them focused on the structure. Okay. Because structure builds up your income. Your income doesn't build up your structure. So I have them focus on the structure part when it comes to the 5K. Every month we get, we have recognition for people that go 5K. And then whenever somebody does Comma Club as needed that week, the second week, whatever the case may be, we give you recognition for that as well. So we just keep the main thing the main thing. We don't do a lot of different things that a lot of people do, because it just causes confusion and people, because especially if I'm brand new, for instance, I have somebody that just joined the business, and she asked me the question last night. She said, hey, she's on the line right now, by the way. And she asked me the question. She's like, hey, can we do our training? And I said, I'm on the call with the Canadian. She's from Canada. She said, why am I not a part of that group? Well, I changed it up, T Gray, from me just throwing people that's brand new inside chats where they see all this excitement and they're fired all the way up, but they just get confused. And that's when they say this is too much. So what I do is when I first enroll somebody, I get into their why, I get into their emotions. What made you join this business? And I believe that's why most people quit this business as well, T Gray, is because we're now moving into the emotional part instead of the work. Well, what are you working for? What made you join this business? Mr. Bugs talked about the other day. Do you know these guys' kids? Do you know these guys' wives? Do you know these guys' family? Do you know if they have a dog? Do you know if they have a cat? Whatever, a kangaroo up there in Arizona, Australia. What do you know about these people? And stop just getting them to work. You got to understand why they're doing the work. And once they get emotionally involved, that's where their income really starts to change.
I'm exhausted. I watched this movie the other day, Blitz, and it was about the war between Germany and England, and they were dropping these bombs, and it's just like what you were doing. They just dropped so many. I'm like, you just did like 5 trainings in 2 minutes. It was crazy. I don't know where to start. Oh my God. Well, let's just start with consistency. So you said something major. You said when you keep switching it up, you confuse your new people.
Mm-hmm.
And you confuse your whole team. I think that's major.
And this is where I was watching somebody that was in Mr. Bug's business in Organo, and he did an interview, and they were talking about the same thing. I think it was the 50K or whatever it was called, 50K project.
Mhm.
And the whole company was just on the same, it was just in alignment, right? And I realized that with certain people. This is why you have certain people, T Gray and MK, saying they're trying to protect their team because they got this group focused on one thing, and then when they talk to somebody else, maybe their baby ears can't take all the different stuff that is going on, so it just confuses them and etc. But it shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be that we should protect our team. It should be the whole group, the whole team should be in alignment, so we don't have to do that.
All right, I'm gonna step on the limb. I'm gonna take the bait. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. We got new people on. We got new people on the call. Yeah, you're right. I was gonna ask you why, but no, you're right. You're right. So yeah, you're right. And to that end, I love what you said. A lot of people, because we have so much messaging technology today, a lot of people are guilty of taking their brand new babies and just throwing them into a chat. And because they just throw them into the chat with everybody else, we call that Gen Pop.
Mm-hmm.
And they get exposed to negativity and different things. And now you have a person who was really excited and gung-ho and ready to go, who's now hemming and hawing and backpedaling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's levels to it, right? When they come in with a small little cup. And what happens is, even as leaders, they come in with a small little cup of their paradigms, and then they want to be mentored by somebody that has a gallon, and we pour into the small little cup, and they can't take our whole gallon, and then what they say is this is too much. And as leaders, we get frustrated, and now we're wiping up all the water because they had a cup mentality and we had a gallon capacity, and you can't change a cup until a gallon in one day. It takes some time, and there's levels to who they talk to. There's levels to what groups they join. There's levels to what even presentations of who they listen to. I mean, that's why you got to know certain stories. You have to know. I think we've talked about this live, in front of the whole Ibüümerang company, right? There's certain people that you want to connect them with certain teams and certain. I can scare some people away sometimes, T. Gray. If they see too much of me, they're like, "Whoa, this is too much," right? And so you got to know where to place your people when it comes to certain presentations. Some people don't need a presentation. I love what you're doing, T. Gray. When you just said next week, let's do this. I got a lot of people that will join just off of what you're talking about next week. And I did a call the other day, showing the plan, showing the numbers, showing how much income they can earn if they go Sapphire, showing how much income they can earn based off the 5K club, if they structure things properly, showing them how they can do, $1,000 a week, bringing in 5 people, then go 6 levels deep, and then that you're already in the comma club. Like, you ask yourself how much thousands of dollars you want to make every week, but you build it up every single week. I showed them the structure, and then they're giving me calls saying, I want to be a part of this. I don't give a damn what the company is. I don't care what the product is. I love the energy. I love what you're talking about. I want to be a part of this. And when it comes to you bringing people in every single week, that is how great you can communicate for your people to get started. By your monthly checks, that is great on how you can keep your community keeping the same thing, the same thing.
It's interesting because you're talking about something that I've come to realize, something that I knew that maybe in today's day and age we kind of got away from, but at the end of the day, it's one of the reasons why you've been able to build such big businesses in the past, and so have I and Mark and et cetera. And it's because we fed the people,
Mm.
right? We fed the people.
Mhm.
And with our attention spans and our desire to get immediate results today, we tend to try to go, how fast can we go from point A? How fast can we get from A to Z? How many letters and stops can we pull out from in between? But if I know you remember in the past, we spent a lot more time also just helping the people develop as professionals, right? And that's why Darren said, when we do goal planning next week, and even though it's not going to be a business presentation, and it's going to be a little bit by boomerang talk, but not very much. It's bigger than that. He said he will recruit people off of that.
Sure.
Because one of the things that we do in this environment, one of the things we have the ability to do in this environment, is to give people something they're not getting in the rest of their life. That's deep, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for that.
Well, yeah, you got it. It's like the colors, right? The trains that we have with colors that Mr. Bucks talks about all the time, the red, blue, yellow, green. You have to place them in certain rooms. And when you're just having, so for instance, I've been going down my, the legs of my business, T-Ray, and been talking to some people that have maybe quit the business 2 years ago, maybe quit the business, 3 years ago, or even last year, and revamping some people, okay? Because there's no point of you just bringing them in if you don't know how to keep them in. So here it is. What all I've done was I've contacted them, and I'm not talking about, I'll talk about the business indirectly, but I'll ask them, hey, what made you get started in the first place? Hey, what made you quit? Okay, so and so was saying work, and you didn't like the work part, but you love the community and you want to be a part of the community. Okay, awesome. All right, so let me ask you a question. What did your lifestyle change from this year, from right now to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, from whenever they quit? No, and most likely some of them are, in worse positions as well. And they're like, no, so okay, well, let's do this then. Let's revamp you up and let's do this thing the right way. And what we have to learn is there's people on my team, T-Gray and MK, that are yellows and they don't want to do a lot of presentations. They don't want to do a lot of, but I still have a place for them that they can still earn some income based off of a red, based off of a blue, based off of a green. So you got to know where to place your people in certain rooms. You got to look at your business as a mansion, and mansions have different rooms, and you got to place them in different rooms. Now, some of these individuals will do multiple different things in different rooms, but you got to learn how to place them, because this business, if your goals be a diamond, a residual earning diamond, a residual earning blue, a residual earning black, because we're in this thing for residual income. Okay, I said the weekly checks is how you can get great at bringing people in the business based off your communication, based off of your self-image, based off of your belief system, and you are the CEO of your business. Then you see, how can I keep the people in my organization every single month? So I got to learn where to place all the people, my foundation, and where they're all going, so that next month it's simpler because I have more people to work with next month. See, every single month you should be recruiting, Mr. Bug says, 2 to 3, whatever it is, because you don't have time to work with all those people because you've already did your foundation when you first started, if you got launched properly, and you have so many people wide. And then the next month you say, I got more time to work with the next person so that I can spin some more plates, because those plates are already spinning. Those plates are already doing the HB system. Those plates are already understanding, and they're creating more plates in their business. Now I have time to work with you next month. See, you guys should be telling some people, no, I can't work with you because you have so many individuals in your business. And then I can maybe work with you next month because I can't push 20 wheelchairs at one time. And what I got going on right now, I know what I can do with my organization. I know the volume that I can produce. I just have to have my structure in place. And this is the big thing when I asked MK and T Gray, I asked Mr. Bugs, because the way that I was coached back in the day by Bob Proctor, I was told what to do because I played sports. I've always been an athlete. Do this, score 30 points, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. So I put that into the business. And what Bob Proctor would have me doing is Darren, you got to recruit this many people this week. You got to recruit this many people this week. So Bob taught me how to build the habit of me building my own business for myself. Mr. Bugs is teaching me how to think through the process, because you don't get to $1 million just by working. You get to $1 million based off your thinking process. So every single time we talk, I'm like, Mr. Bugs, tell me. I need you to tell me, man. He's like, Darren, you're way past the telling. Okay, you got to think through the process. This is all I expect from you. I expect you to give me a plan, and you stick with that plan for 90 days. And the second thing is, I need you to have a structure. If you want me to give you a number, let's say 5 people, wide, and you go 6 levels deep. Once you do that, you still work with those people so that they know what they're doing, and you do the same thing the next month, same thing. And what you'll see is your income will start growing every single week, which should make your monthly income grow every single month.
That's crazy. You did it again. You dropped so many bombs at once. Hey, I want to hear from you guys. Somebody put in the chat what you took away from something that PDDG just shared with us. I mean, I was kind of wanting to talk about your point about, you said earlier about not bringing people in if you're not committed to doing the work to keep them in. Mm-hmm. And that's what made me realize you have the same mentor I do. Because that's what I know he said just to you as many times as he said it to us. 3 things: get them in, keep them in, move them along. Right? Get them in, keep them in, move them along. So I thought that was powerful. Let's see what the people are saying though. The people are saying, so Carson said, you might not have time to work with everyone, maybe next month, but not right now. I thought that was powerful, Darren, because that requires a level of courage. That requires that you are not working from the fear of loss or scarcity mentality, and saying, oh, well, the ones that I don't work with, if I don't work with them right now, I'm going to lose them. Instead of realizing that making people wait for you increases your value. Have you experienced that?
100%, and it changes your posture. And now you don't go and say this to everybody just to say it. You really have to, one, get great at recruiting. And how I got great at recruiting, T. Gray, I just changed, because no one likes that word recruit. When they get it, they cringe up. I changed it from helping somebody to recruiting somebody, because I know what this business can do. You heard what Desi said last week, the person that just, stepped off for a little bit, but their income is raised. You heard what Jake's talked about with, with Danny Turner and Fraser and all these people finally stepping up, and they went 5K, and their income is now growing as well. Their team is now growing as well. So when you know what you have within your organization, for instance, I was talking to, me and Jake, we had a tough conversation, and it's really not about how big your team is. It's how good are you to create that momentum to get it bigger. So most people think that, oh man, I need 100 people. I need 200 people. No, you don't. My last company, T. Gary, I had way more people in my organization, but I was earning less money than what I've earned over here. So I've learned that the quality and structure was very, very important. So it's not about I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said because I'm tired of people saying this, T. Gray. So-and-so quit the business, and we never take the blame for whenever people quit the business. But whenever people make more income and rank advance, we want to take all the credit, right? And law of polarity, hot, cold, high, low, you got to be both of them. So it's you have to understand, hey, 10 people quit my business. Well, why did they quit the key word is, you said my business. Why are people quitting my business? So you got to understand that. So that means that we have a way, you're working with people a certain way. Maybe you're being too controlling. Maybe you're not, getting to their emotions. Maybe you're not learning maybe just throwing them in chats and just letting them do what the heck they want to do. No, when you recruit somebody, it is your job for you to be their mentor. It's your job for you to be their person that's going to help them change their habits, because when you change their habits make them the person that they're going to become. Habits make you rich. Habits make you broke. Habits make you skinny. Habits make you fat. Habits make you positive. Habits make you negative. So all this stuff, we got to understand that it's your job to change their habits from them going from a 9-to-5 thinking mentality to I'm now working for myself, but not by myself. And I got some help, and I get to use my leaders' influence because they've created a little bit of success. This is why you got to work together. If you do this thing by yourself, first of all, anything with greatness, you can't do by yourself. John Maxwell told me that years ago. One person is too small for greatness. You need a team. You need a team, right? So it's your job when you bring somebody in. That's why I said you can't work with everybody. You can't mentor everybody. You coach the masses, mentor the few. So you give the masses the little small things. You give the mentorship, the big things, to the people that are qualifying for it, and they're doing what you suggest them to do, not telling them what to do. We don't have slaves in this business. We got business partners in this business. We have mentees in this business, and we have mentors in this business. Does that make sense, MK and T. Gray?
Yep.
Bro. You know what? You just hit on one of the reasons why people leave leaders. Because they don't get that last thing that you said. You don't have slaves. These people are not your slaves.
Mm-hmm.
They're not your employees. They're not even really your underlings. They just got in later than you did, and you have a higher rank than them. But they're adults, so you should treat them as business partners.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, even in my position, I'm the COO, but when I talk to Darren, when I talk to Desi, when I talk to Jake, when I talk to Jackie, I always refer to them as my business partners.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are my business partners. And as a company, that's our corporate policy, that we treat you as such. When anything that we're about to do, anything that's affecting the business, anything that we're about to change, we always come to you first because you're our business partners. And out of respect for you, we say, okay, here's what we're doing, here's why, here's what the thinking behind it, so that you never find out what we're doing at the same time as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. That's just phenomenal to hear you as such a big leader, that's your philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, you've called me sometimes, and MK's messaged me. You guys know I was going through some stuff this year, and Mr. Bugs gave me a call. I can't stop my business. I have to keep going. But those little small conversations, you didn't call me and say, hey man, where's the value at? You called me and hey Darren, how's things going? Is things getting better? MK's texting me, hey man, I'm seeing you doing, better. Are you good? Mr. Bugs, that stuff keeps people in the business. That stuff keeps, if we say we're family and we're not looking at people as a commissionship, but a relationship, that stuff keeps people in the business, and that will make them go out and want to build 10 times more. I call Jake every time. Hey, Jake, everything good, man? You all right, man? Even personal stuff to see how he's doing, Tier. So the small little things, now I'm digging deep now, T. Gray, and because maybe the upline don't know how to do that. So let me dig deep and do the same thing. Carson and his new people came here, Carson and Julie and Crystal and Andrew and Dustin, and they all came here, I believe, a few days ago. They left on Wednesday, and gave them some ins and outs. So you talk about success. How do you get the success? I believe online is amazing, but you look at Carson's group, all those individuals, one event that I'm trying to get the people back into the event style, because what you're going to see next year, you're going to see a lot more people doing events, home meetings. You're going to see a lot more of that. I'm not knocking social media. You're still going to see stuff like that, but it's very hard to build a business all around the world. And you got people, I never forget, I was talking to my mentor, Linda Proctor, years ago, T. Gray, and I said, man, I got business all around the world. I got China, I got Japan, I got London, I got Dubai, and they had nobody in their group, in their city. It's just scattered all over the place. And what that means is I built my business on not a foundation, because I built my business on quicksand. So here it is. I did not have that foundation in the business. But you look at Carson, now he's having an event that they're expecting 60 people today. I'm closing it out. Their last event, I believe they brought 2 people went 5K. I believe one person went dual qualified, all that good stuff. But we're leveraging up the 5K and the Comma Club. And I'm looking at Carson's income going from $500 in 1 week. And I'm like, okay, now you're on a $500 mentality right now. How can we grow that now? How can we grow that next week to maybe $700, to maybe $800? How can we get you? See, we talk about the big stuff, the $5 million a month and et cetera. That's just who we are. But even the small little change will do it for some people, right? So now I'm looking at his income, not just his income, because if his income's growing, then guess what? His team income is growing. And I said, and take the focus not just on you, because you got to have an individual goal and you got to have a group goal, but utilize your gift and work with somebody else. Now I'm seeing Macy doing this. Now I'm seeing Julie do this. Julie's brand spanking new, and she got over 15 people come to the event today. And I said, you can go Sapphire today, depending on how you guys structure up your event. And it's all in Sudbury. And I'm telling you, you're going to see Sudbury grow and grow and grow and grow, where they're going to force me to travel out there, because they already got some fire that going. Now I just need to do is put some more wood or put some gasoline on it.
Wow. Okay, so it's gonna be this kind of day, everybody. It's gonna it's gonna be one of those days where you just keep hearing, wow, flabbergasted. T-Gray caught back on his heels trying to figure out which one. Yeah, you remember the first Terminator movie?
Yeah.
Darren, do you remember the first Terminator movie? Right? And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he drops down to well, he does not drop down to Earth. He's sent back in time to whatever time it was. And now he's the Terminator, right? And because he was now starting to interact with people, people would say things, and they gave us a view inside his head where he had multiple responses to choose from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I feel right now. I'm like, this here, this here, this here, this here, which one? So I got a very different question, because you just keep doing this like the last thing I wrote, and I wrote it in a different color on my thing. I'm still selling this Good Notes thing, even though I don't have an affiliate program link. I probably should. You said get back into events and get back to face-to-face. I think that's some major advice.
Yes.
I want to make sure you guys
That is.
help with that. But I got to ask you, Darren, can you take us back to when you were like most of the people in our business, when you were new and you weren't so good at this? What was that like? And tell us about the journey from there to where you are now. How did you become this Darren? Because we talk about becoming a lot. What happened?
Well, I was blessed. I believe I was richly blessed to remember my sponsor was, I think he was, top Brad Alcaz, and he was number 3 in the company, in my first company. And then he's the one that connected me to Bob Proctor and Linda Proctor. And I just stayed focused on one or two mentors. I didn't really listen to a lot of different people. I listened to just, I mean, it's Bob freaking Proctor, right? Who else are you going to listen to? And so I'm listening to him. I got fast success my first year, but talking about my slow months, we were terrible at events. We didn't know, we sounded like network marketers. And Bob kind of shut that down. He said, I want you to stop studying network marketing books. And he said, I want you to start studying mindset and why people think and why people say yes and why people say no. So I got really big into the mindset of why people say yes and why people say no. So I would buy spiritual books and etc. And I just kind of tapped into people's emotions. But back then, I felt like they felt like I was selling, right? And we are selling, but no one likes to be sold. Everyone likes to be helped. So in the very beginning, we didn't really have social media like this. Zoom and etc. Back then it was like Skype and GoToMeetings and GoToWebinars and the what's the phone lines that we were doing back in the day?
Call lines.
Conference call lines. Yeah. So we were kind of forced. I started off my business in person, and that was challenging because one, everybody knew who I was in my city. So when they knew I was doing this business, they were like, cross your arms. I'm not doing it, because network marketing just had a terrible name. So we kind of flipped things up. I went from no people showing up to business, to home meetings, and I stopped using certain words too. So remember, everything is psychological. So I was using, come to my meeting. Well, who the hell wants to go to a meeting? I mean, like, because I'm working with, millennials at that time, younger individuals, not older individuals, right? Or seasoned individuals. I hate to say the word old. But we're younger. Who wants to go there? So I took what Mr. Bud was saying. What would he used to say again? Starts with an R. Is it? Tiro know what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the private business reception?
Private business reception. So I would start using little stuff like that, or we would say parties, whatever the case may be. So just changing up the verbiage of what we were saying would get them in the room. And then when I was finally get great at an invitation, I believe invitation is very simple. When I finally got great at invitation, we got bad at closing. I mean, you'll have 5, 6 people in the room, 20 people in the room, but nobody got started. So I never forget, I took a picture and I'm like, yes, we finally learned the invitation part, and took a picture, put it on Facebook, and everybody saw on Facebook. And there was a guy named Wolfgang. He's made millions in the industry, and he gave me a call, and he said that he's from Germany. He's like, hey man, that was amazing, man. But who all got started? And I'm like, nobody. But we had 60 some people in the room, right? And he's like, okay, so you just worked your ass off for nothing.
Right.
And goes back to what you say, T. Gray. I don't work for free. I work for value. And so I didn't have that. I had the goal mentality, but I didn't have the result mentality. So what changed my mindset, or what changed my income, my business, and me attracting people, I was not just goal oriented. And there's too many people that's just goal oriented. But I changed it from goal oriented to result oriented. And once that changed, everything changed. I mean, when I do calls, like, I already have a result of what I want for this call. That's why I didn't know all the stuff I was going to say. I kind of looked at some of the notes. We chopped it up last night, T. Gray, and I said, no, this needs to be said. Couldn't fall asleep last night. Woke up early this morning, went to the gym. That's why my voice is out of, I was running so much and all this stuff. And I'm like, I know exactly what I'm about to say today. And it just all came in alignment. And I said, this is the result I want them to do. I want them to get back into this. When I have presentations, I don't do a presentation, just do a presentation. I need people to enroll. I need some volume to come in. So when I do a 3-way call, if T. Gray, you put me on a call with MK, you're expecting me to get you paid on that call. So as a mentor, and it makes me look good when you look good, right? I use the analogy. Everything changed, T. Gray, when I got this analogy. And Bob came to me years ago and he said, son, you know how you get off the airplane and everybody's rushing to get off the airplane and ready to get their luggage? I said, yeah. He said, what's the first luggage you're looking for when you get there? I said, mine. Of course, you want your first. I want my luggage to come first, right? And he said, no, you need to be looking at all your team to see if they're getting their luggage first, and then you leave last. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? Stop trying to be a star and want to create stars. And when you create stars, you'll become the star. So I changed up my mentality from me trying to just be a star to let me create the stars. That's where I met Thierry. That's where I met Jake. That's where I met Jason. That's where I met all these individuals. And I was just pouring in. I used my gift, T. Gray. Because, man, I'm going to tell you right now, man, Thierry took some work, right? So he wasn't a great closer, but guess who was a great closer? Or not a closer, an opener is what we say now, right? I was great at that, but Thierry was great at invitation. So I said, Thierry, use your great invitation and let me show the presentation. Let me do the communication. And that built up Thierry, and that built up Jake, and that built up all the individuals that I worked with. And people don't realize that you can take people that's great at invitation. There's a lady that was in the group, T Gray, and she was a teacher. And I forget her name, by the way. She was in the group and she was making $40,000 a year. And then she moved up from $40,000 a year being a teacher to $40,000 a month. And she never shared her story. She never did any presentation. She never did a doggone thing. I mean, she was so nervous. I mean, just self-image low to the flow, right? And just so nervous. You can't get the girl to say a quiet prayer. But when it came to her income, she was really, really great at edification and invitation. So I realized that. I said, man, wow, these people are good at different things. Let's put them in certain rooms. So that's what changed about my business.
That's wild. Jake said in the chat, he would just say, Darren, smile at my prospect, please.
Right.
Oh, exactly. Hey, we knew you were coming on here today, so I used my extra whitening toothpaste today. You were coming, and the white strips. I mean, again, bombs. Study the mindset. That's probably so. Again, one of the things we need to do, D, as we do trainings like this, is we also need to teach people how to learn. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I want to challenge you guys to do is to really learn to listen one level lower. Meaning, don't just hear the words that are said, listen to what's underneath that, right? And so Darren said, Bob Proctor told him, stop studying network marketing technique and start studying mindset. And then Darren, you followed that by saying, learn why people say yes and why people say no. Mm-hmm. This is major. Like, I really hope that everybody wrote that down and that you put that on your personal curriculum. Mm-hmm. And Darren, I say curriculum because that's what I have for myself. My YouTube watch later list is my curriculum. It's what's coming next, what I'm going to work on next, what I'm going to learn next. And Darren shared with you one of the things you need to work on. And I can tell you right now, everybody, 100%, there's not a person on here who this doesn't apply to. Get out there and study why people say yes and why people say no. If you take away just one thing, if you get just a little bit better at that, it will change your whole business.
And also, on top of that, I'm sorry. On top of that, like Tier and I, we were talking the other day, and even Jake, Jake said, we got to talk more. And he said, it's not because back in the day, I mean, I would talk to my mentor every day, literally. Especially if you have a big goal, it may require you to talk to your mentor a lot. And
bugs every day now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me and Mr. Bucks talk sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, mm-hmm. But I have a huge goal though. And he needs to see if I'm on the right track. And he told me, Mr. Bucks told me, don't listen to what I say. Think about why I'm saying it at this in particular time. So for me, I just stay plugged in because you're going to get some no's, T Gray. You're going to get some maybes, MK. You're going to get some get out my face, Darren. You're going to get all that stuff. And that will break down your self-image sometimes, right? And if you don't get in front of somebody that's been through what you're going through, it's like they put a Band-Aid over you and they're like, oh, man, calm down. That's normal. And I'm like, okay, all right. So since my mentor said it's normal, that's cool. But if you don't do that, it's like a fire pit and you want to stay close in the fire. And the more and more you get away from the fire pit, you get colder and colder. And what happens, T Gray, they'll start looking at different deals and they're like, oh, that deal's better than this deal. No, all deals are okay, but just find a deal that you can become the deal. Like, I'm not looking for deals. I'm looking for something that I can build something, right? I think staying plugged in with your mentor is very important. Don't go Hollywood when you reach Sapphire, Ruby, or you recruited 5 people and we give you some recognition on flight school, and you're like, man, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I don't want you talking about. All right, you're building something for destruction. I'm telling you, because why would you stop doing something that's working for you in the first place? And most people, they stop doing what is working. It's called paradigm. And what happens is if you don't keep shifting your paradigm, because most people get sapphire fast, diamond fast, and then they get this Hollywood, they're like, oh, I can do whatever it is. No, the paradigm will always go right back down to where your income was at, where your team is at, where it will always do that if you're not getting your cup filled all day long. I'll never forget, Mr. Bugs, when people people went diamond in my business, and blue diamond and black diamond. And Mr. Bugs told me, he said, this is where they really need the mentorship. In the very beginning, you don't really need a lot of mentorship. You just need to change some of your habit shifts and then watch where that ship takes you. And then as your group gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that's where you really need the right mentorships on what to do with the people.
Wow. Wow. I knew it was going to be this way. I told you. I told you. It was going to be this way. It's crazy. I just know what we get when we get you, and it's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. Another thing that you said was, and this is an amazing concept, learn which words to use and which words not to use, because words matter and they trigger a certain thought, a certain response. You know, like you said, come to my meeting, it triggers an immediate mental knee jerk of, I don't like meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I thought that was absolutely powerful that you.
Well, what I use with this is I never tell anybody my income. If you're a part of Mrs. Jackie's group, if you're a part of, Donnie's group, if you're a part of my group or Jake or Desi's or anybody's group, you've participated in the income. You participated in the value. So I'm always saying on calls, hey, listen, our team, we've done close to $3 million in business sales in 30 days. I'm saying I'm not talking about me. And what I used to do is I used to talk about me. I don't care if you are a sapphire or you've done 5K or you've just gotten started and you brought in 2 people and you went dual qualification, you're still a participant in that value for whatever that group has done, because it's a team aspect, right? All groups are teams, but not all teams are groups. So here it is, you have to, or flip that around. So you have to make sure that you word things differently, right? I'm not going around saying I'm a presidential in the company. They don't know what presidential is. When they think of president, they think of Donald Trump, right? So it's not presidency. This is the value we've produced as a team collectively. Even if they ask the income, how much income have you earned? You can flip it. Hey, listen, I don't really like to talk about my income because sometimes it scares people, sometimes it excites people. I really don't know. Or I'll say, you wouldn't believe if I told you. And they don't even know what the heck that means. I remember forgetting when my income was low to the flow. I was making maybe $200, $1,000 a week, or whatever the case may be, $500 a week. And they're like, how much is your income? And I'm like, oh man, you wouldn't believe if I told you. When I was at $100 a week, you wouldn't believe I told you. So I tell them the same thing, because now their mindsets is all over the place. They don't know if it's bad, they don't know if it's good. But I always go back to my group. But listen, I'm working with this team, and our team collectively, this is how much value that we've done over time. And they're thinking, wow, okay, wow. Then you can bring them into the process and get them to see the movie, because we're not the movie. That's the biggest thing, T. Gray, what my mentor told me as well. I was going out there, we call it vomiting. And this is why people want to know all the information about the business. And I want to know everything before I do anything. And they want to go out there and just vomit on their people. And they're going to tell them all the information. And you are supposed to be the commercial, not the movie. Commercials are maybe a minute, 2 minute long. And then guess what? Now you want to get butts in the seats. I use the church analogy. When you bring the people, we usher them to the right seats. And then the preacher preach the gospel, you collect the offering. So it's your job to bring them into the right seats and watch what the presentation does for them. And that's how your business will start to grow.
I'm sorry. I'm finished writing my note before I say something. Wow. Major, bombish, bombified. Okay, bro. Then there was this other thing that you said that warrants a little more bombing. You said develop a results orientation.
That was huge. I still have I was on the jet with Bob, and I got the recording on my phone. And sometimes I go back to that recording, and he said, your people have um too much personal development. You know, they don't have enough professional development. So you have to put both of those. You need both of those. I told somebody yesterday, you need both of those. Okay. You can't build a 9-figure business with or 8-figure or 7-figure business with a 2-figure mindset, right? So you have to keep changing your mindset over time, but make sure, like I study T-grade maybe 30 minutes a day, an hour sometimes in the morning, but I don't let my studying get in the way of me getting to work. So, and I need to, if I don't study, I get depressed, right? So here it is. I need to keep growing my mindset, but I need to implement it. And what Bob said, you need to get your group to stop just being goal oriented, but be result oriented. And that changed everything. I'll never forget. I hit the light switch right there and I said, wow, I really do got to get my group to be focused on changing their habits, changing their habits, changing their habits. So what I had to do, T-Gray, was this. In the very beginning, it was very challenging. I had to get 4 numbers every single day. And Bob would tell me, you got to be in front of a prospect by 9 a.m. every single day. Now, this is Bob telling me to do this. If I didn't do it, he didn't work with me. So, and here it is. I had to send him names every single, hold on. These are names right here. Every single day, 4 names, 5 names, every single day, every day. I had to send him names of people that I was in communication with. And he was changing. What he was doing was, T-Gray, he didn't care if I was getting the result. He cared about me just doing the activity, because the law of attraction says, as you sow, so shall you reap. It's by law. It's God made, not man made. So man can't change it. So it's like, it's for sure going to happen for you if you focus on it and you keep doing it and stay consistent. So I had to keep doing that every single day for 7 days, 14 days. Then he moved me into, now I have to ask people to buy into my business. T-Gray, MK, this is where my income really changed. I had to ask a person every single day, 4 people a day, to join my business. It didn't matter if they said no. It didn't matter if they said yes. If I ask some people in the group right now, who have they asked so far to join their business? I guarantee you some of these people haven't done it in 7 days, a week, a month. All you got to do is just ask the question. Let's get you started. Let's get you started. Let's get you started. And let them tell you no. Let them tell you yes, whatever the case may be. But you are doing the law of attraction, and law of attraction has action in there. So you're doing the action part, meaning you're going to attract something different. So that's where my recruiting, they called me the recruiting machine in the company, because the numbers were bananas. So guess what happened to you, Greg? The ones I talked to that week, maybe said no. I talked to more the next week, maybe said yes, maybe said no. The one after I got to like the 5th, 4th week, whatever it is, like you said, T-Gray, this is not going to work. The first week, stay 90 days with it. I started getting a funnel of people in my organization, a funnel. And the funnel, you're putting in honey. Most people think the funnel, you're putting in water, and water automatically drips. When you just drip one honey, it stays on the funnel. You got to keep fueling your funnel, and eventually more and more honey will start coming out down. And you'll get to the point where you are now recruiting on demand, and people are joining your business from all types of places. And that's where the income becomes bananas for you. Just ask the question. I guarantee you, if people did this for 90 days, hey, let's get you started, something will change in their life. Their whole business will change. Their perception of enrolling people will change. Their self-image will change. Their habits will change, and their income will change.
Lay it out super clear. So, I mean, I just wrote it down again because you said it several times today. Give it 90 days, give it 90 days, give it 90 days. Don't start and stop. Don't give up so quickly. All right. So in this recruiting plan, you said you got it. What is it? Let's lay it out step by step for people. They got to do what?
In the recruiting plan.
Yeah, that you just, the one that you just described.
So first of all, you should always be collecting friends.
Always collect friends.
You got to collect friends. All right. Whether that be online, if you're going to a restaurant, getting a number. Hey, listen, do not talk about the business. All right. Don't be a weirdo. All right. Just say, hey, listen, you know, I love your shirt, love your hat, love your glasses. Hey, T Gray, man, love your watch. Man, you know, how long you been working here, man? How long you been doing this? Awesome. I'm big on connections. Let's connect. I got my number now. Okay. Then I'm going to do that for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and come out with a number. I used to have little coins, and I would have 4 coins on one side. And when I get one number, I'll put the other coin in my other side to make sure that I'm staying on track. All right. So now I got 4 numbers. The next day I'm going to do the same thing, 4 numbers. Next day I'm going to do the same thing. Those numbers start adding up, and you're now building rapport with these people. Then maybe next week you're now moving into the process of it's, you know, the white zone, blue zone, red zone, all the zones. You're moving into the process of you doing certain things, and then you're inviting them to a presentation, to a 3-way call. You got to get to know these people first to see what they're looking for. All right, don't just throw them on a presentation call, and then you got some negativity in the chat saying, "What the heck is this?" No, you got to get to know these individuals and see where to place them, and then you start to get to the nitty gritty. Let's get you started, and you'll start to ask people, "Let's get you started" over time, and that's where your business will start to turn to the funnel of success.
Awesome. Now you said you sent Bob 4 names a day.
I had to do 4 names a day, and I didn't do 4 names a day one time. I was flying out to Arizona somewhere, and the time zone changed. He blocked me for like 2 months, and I figured out where he was at. He was in San Diego doing a meeting. I flew out to San Diego just for him to unblock me. That's the type of mentorship I was getting.
Wow.
I believe mentorship is too easy for people now, and we just let people off the hook. I mean, Mr. Bugs told me about this the other day. You guys used to have the calendars and show the calendars and show the proof if you're not doing it. Oh, I'm not working with you. Like, it's too easy for people now. So
We had to show with our calendar and a drawing of the group.
Yeah.
If you had a block of his time where he was going to help you review your business, and you did not show up with your calendar, and this is not a blank calendar. What he meant was your calendar of activity where he could look at what you have been doing, right? And he even told us what kind of calendar he wanted to see, month at a glance calendar, right? And you had to come with a current drawing of your group. If you did not show up with both of those items, you lost your time slot, and you might not get another one. And remember this story, I lived 5 minutes from him, and I came to his house for my planning session, and I forgot one of those. I can't remember which one, but I came with one, but not the other. And I said, please let me go home and get it. And mind you, at this point in time, he was in my wedding, right? That's how close we are, but he's my mentor. And in mentor mode, he said, no, you lost your spot. We'll talk about anything else, but I'm not helping you with your business today.
Right. So T Gray, prime example, and I'm trying to speed things up because I know you got a lot of questions and due to time. Prime example, the lady that's on the line right now, we had a schedule to talk at 8:30. I had to do a call with some other people at 9. I said 8:30. Then I texted her and said, I think I said, are we on a different time zone or something? I knew she's on Eastern Standard Time. And I texted her at 8:40-ish. So she said, oh, I'll be ready. Can you talk at this time? No, we could probably talk tomorrow then, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to program her, and every person I work with, you got to value the time and come here correct. What we do, we're getting too easy. And what she's going to do now is respect my time now.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. So what is it? You had to do 4 presentations a day or make 4 friends a day with Proctor?
in the very beginning, because the process, you have to meet 4 people a day first. That can
Okay.
be on social media, that can be in person, but I was doing a lot of home events. So it was more outside, restaurants and etc. So in the very beginning, I was meeting, hey Darren, hey Bob, I met these many people, and I had to send him the first and last name and their phone number. And he said, sometimes I'm going to give them a call. I don't think he ever gave them any calls, but it scared the heck out of me. And he said, their first and last name and their email and their phone number.
That's called inspect what you expect. So the reason why I'm digging into that is because you dropped so many great things. And like you said, it's not just personal development, it's personal development and professional development. It's not just mindset, it's mindset and implementation. It's not just goals, it's goals and results. So I want to make sure that people leave here with some professional development as well, in terms of something specific that everybody can do, regardless of whose team they're on, regardless of what system your team is following. PDDG just gave you something that everybody can do, which is what? Make 4 new friends a day, which is going to build your pipeline of people to expose to the business ultimately. And he said, don't be a weirdo. You're just making friends. And this is a challenge for you to get good at the art of never running out of contacts by making a friend. And now, when he was working with Bob Proctor qualified a new friend as somebody who you have their first name, last name, and a way to contact them, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to narrow that down to phone number. That's the number one way to contact people, right? Don't let people just give you their social media. If they're like me, they check it every few days. You want the one way to get somebody's attention. If you want my attention, text me. Right? The phone is surgically attached to my body. I always see a text message. So let's give people that as a challenge. 90 days. Who's taking the 90-day 4 friends a day challenge? You think, is that a reasonable challenge, or do we need to change the number, Darren? Do we need to make it 2? Do we need to make it 3? Do we need to make it 5? What do you say?
Once you again, there's levels to it, so I start off with 4, and then once I got really great at, recruiting 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, Tierra remembers this too. Jason all remember this, recruiting 4, then he bumped me up to 8. So right now, just pick a number, but I believe 4 is a perfect deal for sure.
All right, 4 a day, right? 4 a day. Now, here's what you need to do, everybody. This is a commitment. Okay, I got a question for you from Dani in Canada. She says, does that include social media? Well, you know what? It does include social media if you get their phone number.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? If you can come away with, if you can meet somebody on social media and interact with them to the point where they would actually give you a way to contact them outside of social media, yeah. Now, you might not do that on the first meeting. But if you can continue to do that and get that way, that'd be good. So 4 a day. On the day, Dani, that you get the phone number, that person can go on your list, not before. Okay. Now you see, the other thing that you need to do, everyone, is this. That is, you need to identify an accountability partner who's going to be rock solid and who's going to give you shit when you miss a day. So this can't be somebody who's going to coddle you, because, like, for example, in Darren's case, Bob Proctor literally blocked him 2 months. Now, I'm not saying that that's what that person needs to do, but that person needs to be somebody who's going to get in your sugar honey iced tea if you miss a day. All right. So your challenge is find that accountability partner, get them to be committed to you, either giving you a congratulatory pat on the back because you got 4 that day, or giving you grief because you missed, and you're going to make 4 new friends a day. Now, some of you got everybody saying, I'm in. How easy is this?
Very easy. It's very simple.
It's not easy, B.
It's
You know
simple.
it's not easy.
I meant simple. I meant simple. I mean, sometimes I confuse simple with easy.
What are some of the obstacles that they are gonna face in the process of trying to make 4 new friends a day?
With that's weird. We got some standoff, depending on where you live too, they're standoffish. If you're a man, oh, he's flirting. If you're, a woman, the man may not take you serious or whatever the case may be. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Now I know what you mean, T Gray. It really it's simple, but it's not easy. I mean, they're gonna have all type of deals. But
Life, you're gonna have your kids are gonna get sick at school.
yeah, sick in school, personal stuff, Christmas, now New Year's, it's you and all type of stuff.
So now that you guys understand the kind of challenges that you might face, we're gonna give you another chance. Well, I'm gonna forget that you said that you were in. And now I'm gonna ask you, knowing the potential result and knowing the potential challenges that you're going to face in doing this, how many of you are in? How many of you accept this challenge for a day? All right. Okay, I see people accepting the challenge still. Stephanie Platt was, before I even finished the sentence, she was like, I'm in.
The thing is, T Gray, if they really do this, your leaders, we're gonna see the change. I mean, we're gonna, like, you have no clue how big the change. I mean, T Gray, you just said it. I mean, you're committed to your diet, you're committed to your walk, and we can see the change. I mean, I'm looking at people in the chat, like, we can see the self-image, we can see the facial structure, we can see all that change, right? So as leaders, we're going to see the result change. I mean, we're going to see the confidence change, all that stuff. So don't just say yes, 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 yes. I'm telling you, the leaders, great leaders, great mentors, we know. It's like that quote, if you know, like, if we've been through the trenches, like, we know if you're really doing this or not. So if you guys do it, it's going to change your whole world for sure.
Man, you have really blessed the people today with so many different things. The last thing I want to kind of throw back at you is it kind of takes us back to where we started. When we give you your accolades, we're not just giving you flowers because of what you've done. We give you flowers because of your team. Mm-hmm. And you said you become a star when you create stars. And that's not just a talk that you talk. It is very clear that is a walk that you walk because of the stars you've created in your team, the Tierras, the Jakes, the Desis, etc. Can you just talk a little bit more about your philosophy in that? Were you always that way?
No. I'm just past the show. I want the dough. I'm past the show.
I want the dough.
Yeah, as soon as I got the philosophy, when you get recognized, you're getting rich. When your group is getting recognized, you're getting wealthy. And when I finally learned that, we're here to help people, man. And there's people there's mentors that have different gifts, and when I realized that if you say you really love to help people, utilize your gifts and other people that don't have it, and you'll see their income change because of what you've done. And you just give them the recognition, and they'll gain more confidence, more recognition, more confidence they have. And the more confidence they have, the more they're going to go out there and build the business the proper way. So no, in the very beginning, I'm a firm believer. You want to be that speed boat, whatever boat you want to have. You can have a slow boat, speed boat, however fast you want to go. And it's just you getting on that boat by yourself until you get to another boat where you got to now put more people on there. And some speedboats have 2 people, some people have 3 people. And then you finally get that bigger boat. And I'm talking about mindsets. The boat is the mindset. And then once you get a bigger boat, you got more people on there. And then you got other speedboats that you're on walkie-talkie telling them how to get to where you are. And then your boat gets into a yacht gets into a cruise ship. And then before you know it, it's just, you got so much stuff, so many activities going on. So the faster you go from just you wanting to be the star to you want to create stars, you'll make the most money for sure.
Well, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You got a pretty decent sized yacht going right now. And we really look forward to your cruise ship. We know that that is inevitable. And I got to say this, ladies and gentlemen, what you just got from PDDG literally is just a taste. This is just a taste. And there's just so much more that he has for you to give you. Darren, let's you and I get together and figure out, you know, what you can do next, you know, on a dedicated flight school to really bless the folks. But today, I mean, what did you guys think today? Well, they already put it in the chat. You got fire emojis like you wouldn't believe, and Travell Smith says it was worth millions. I mean, I really believe, you know, I think if there was a facial expression or a meme for how the people feel right now, it's this. Because that's how I feel, man. Right?
What I would just say is, man, just read. I know I said a lot. I wanted to hammer on a lot of stuff. Re-listen to this. Don't just listen. You know, T Gray, when I first joined Ibüümerang, I would listen to you, MK, obviously Mr. Bugs, and even Anna. You know, I wanted to learn the community. I wanted to learn how you guys, even small things, saying Mr. Bugs and all that. I'm like, Mr. Bugs. I never understood the philosophy. You know, I would go back and watch you do, even still today, T Gray, I still look at you doing the presentation. I still go to our Facebook group and re-listen to the presentation when I'm at the gym, because I just want to get the numbers right. I want to get the verbiage right. And you're never too great to be a student. So I encourage you all to just re-listen to it. I believe that all of us said something that can really change the course of your business. The last thing I want to say is, I know we said a lot again. Have a structure on your team. Do not get your group doing so many different stuff. What Mr. Bugs has me doing, and if I'm telling you the CEO's telling me to do this, just focus on 5K and the Comma Club. And once you keep that rhythm for 90 days, as you're doing the numbers, as what T Gray just said, for 90 days, you're gonna see the sapphires, you're gonna see the rubies, you're gonna see. Mr. Buggs said, don't focus on diamonds. He said, I never focused on anybody going diamond, and that was my problem. I was focused on everybody going diamond. And he said, focus on the smaller deals that people can see and just go through the numbers and multiply them. If they want to go diamond, they got to chase diamond, but your income is going to keep doing this and this and this and this if you keep the main thing for 90 days.
Wow. Man, it's so deep. Like, you started out talking about those things. It's like, not only are you getting this coaching advice, but you are putting it to work, right? Mm-hmm. You were focused. I remember when everything was, okay, we help this person go diamond. And now it's the Comma Club and the 5K Club. Comma Club, 5K Club, right? And who can get DTQ in their first week in the business? DTQ, dual team qualified, right? Mm-hmm. So you practice what you preach, and it's so true. Don't focus on trying to get a six-pack. Focus on that one little thing that you can do every day, you know, that's going to help you stay on that course. So I just think that's just so phenomenal. You're such a blessing to everybody. We really appreciate you. I think you know, and I think everybody should know that as a company and personally, we are committed to the success of Darren Gibson. You are our business partner. And, you know, we're here to serve you, bro, and to make sure you have everything you need to develop that incredible Royal Caribbean super cruise ship of leaders hanging off the railing because everybody can't get on, you know?
I see that.
It's so jam-packed, you know? So,
yes.
Man, and let's get together. No, seriously, please, let's get together. Let's design, you know, kind of a mini event where people can get more goods, and we'll dedicate a flight school to that, and promote it big.
Yeah. I'm more in the trenches now. I'm talking to a lot of my new people, and I told them the same way I'm telling everybody. You know, I'm one call away for us to keep, you know, doing meetings. I don't care what it is. You know, if you're cross line, down line, there's just a different energy. You guys probably can feel it. There's a different energy that I'm ready for. I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready for the new babies to get to the next level. And we got a lot of new people that I don't want to confuse, and I want them to be on the same page. And once we all get on the same page, as Organo Gold was, that's where it's that boat, right? That movie, right, Tigray? The boat, getting on the same page, and that's where the boat's going to move faster. And when everybody's stroking the boat the right way. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
MK, and obviously, MK. Thank you so much for all you do and your friendship and your loyalship and all the ships that you do with this company. And obviously, great. Well, man, you always
Yeah.
show love and appreciation, and you are our team player. And Anna, I'm probably listening in. Thank you so much. Love you, Queen Anna, and obviously Mr. Holton Bugs. He's helped me out just this year, man.
All
Just
all
this
right.
year, and I mean, this year has been a huge blessing and in
Yep.
disguise. And the stuff that we're doing, revamping with the company, and people are looking at different stuff because they're not in full communication. Be in communication with your leader because you have no clue what's about to happen in the next month, 2 months, 3 months with this company. And
Yep.
tough times never last, but only tough people do. So I'm really excited for what's about to happen.
Yep. Put some fire emojis in the chat for PDDG.
Amen. Amen. Bro, we totally appreciate you. Let's kind of wrap this up for the people. And let's do our picture.
Yep.
We're all doing the Darren Gibson today. Hat to the back. All right. And guns out. Guns out, everybody. Here we go. On 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. All right, you posers. All right, absolutely fantastic. Love you guys. Hey, you guys did a great job today. Promote, promote, promote. Let's make Saturday massive. We're going to do that game planning workshop for 2025. Love you guys. See you next week.
Love you, ambassadors.